I'm about to show you the only 4 ways to successfully scale a car detailing business and maximize your profits. For those who don't know me, I'm Alex Morris and I've been detailing cars since I was 12 years old. I relaunched my business from zero September 2025, and since then I have over 70 5-star reviews. I'm the #1 in my area. Here's a payment processor from January alone. Today is the 19th, so it's a little over 2 weeks in. Here's one of them. Here's a second one of them. And I have over 16,000 followers on Instagram because my goal is to provide as much value to detailers as possible so they can scale their business too. So let's get right into this video. What are the only 4 ways to scale a car detailing business? #1 is going to start with local market domination. There are so many detailers in your area. So what is going to get you the business rather than them? There are tons of ways to do this, but I'm going to give you exact examples. #1 is your Google business. If you look up car detailing near me right now, you're probably on the second or third page. And the reason that is because you don't have a really good website that brings your Google business to the top. You're not posting every day. So here are a few things you can do to instantly improve your SEO, which means search engine optimization. #1, spend 5 minutes every single day posting on Google Business. Whether it's an offer, promotion, or just something where you're telling people about your services. It's that simple. There's a little post button, click it, pick a topic, whether it's ceramic coating or normal detail or interior detailing, and post about it. This is going to tell Google, this guy uses your app. The other 40 detailers, they just occasionally check in, respond to a review. This guy's using it daily. It's going to push you to the top. Second thing is, in all your descriptions, every time you respond to a review, use SEO related words. Location features, timing, the name of your business, car detailing, ceramic coating. These keywords are going to help you rank for when someone does look up car detailing near me. And also, every review you get, instantly respond, flooded with those SEO words. This is going to just show Google you're using their platform. They spend millions of dollars to have Google business. And so many people set it up once and leave it. Those are the detailers who get lost, dusted in the past, and you are going to go way above them. Second thing is highly ranked website. You want to make sure you have an authority, because if all these guys don't have any websites or they're just saying to call or check out Instagram, it's not bad, but it's not the best. And if you want to be premium, if you want to charge high ticket, you have to show that you're a real business. You have a website. Your website is professional. It ranks. It helps your Google rank. It gets you more business, because otherwise you blend in with your competition when you have the same stuff as them. So invest in a website. Learn how to do it yourself. There are so many platforms you can do this on, but this is something that's really going to help you dominate your market and become an authority. #3 is local service ads. So once you have, your Google business set up, a highly ranked website, you can start running ads now, because when you run these ads, when you send them somewhere, there's credibility. Because if you're running an ad to nothing, they look into your business and there's no website, there's no landing pages, there's nothing, they're not going to trust you. And in service-based businesses, the biggest thing that makes people buy from you is trust and credibility. And that's at least for a high ticket service. If they're going to want a cheap wash, don't worry about that. If you want to sell cheap stuff, if you want to charge what you're not worth, don't worry about this stuff. But obviously, if you're watching this video, you want to charge premium, you want to scale efficiently, and you want to be the best. So when I tell you to do this, I'm not just saying it. It is strategically and data proven. Local service ads, you can set these up within an hour. You just need to make sure your business is official. You have to make sure you have an LLC and insurance. You can do both of these things in the same day and get approved very, very fast. Now you can go to local service ads, the Google platform, and you can apply, and within a few days, you can get Google screened, which means approved. Google is not going to just push any business. You have to be legit for Google to put their word behind you and push you out to the masses. This is something that you pay per lead though, so it is so cool, because if you get 5 leads for the day and 5 of them are qualified, you're paying $10 to $20 per lead. But let's say you put a budget on and no one hits you up. You don't pay for anything. So even if your budget's $100 a week and you get nothing, you don't spend any money. Or let's say 5 people hit you up and 3 people are qualified. And when I say qualified, it means they're calling you and you have a good conversation with them. Google identifies this. You pay for those 3 leads. Let's say 2 of them were solicitors. You don't pay for that. This is the best way to start running an ad and get as much return as possible. The first time I did this, I spent $9 on my first lead and I got a $450 disaster interior detail that took me around 4 hours to complete. I mean, any day of the week I'd spend $9 to make $440 profit. Obviously there's more that goes into it, but from the ad, that's a great return. Number 4 is meta ads. This is the highest leverage ad you can run to get the max amount of leads. I get around 20 leads daily for my business every single day, whether it's for ceramic coating or a general detail. And the way I set this up gets me high quality people. You want to make sure the messaging in your ads are to the T. Because if you're saying we're the cheapest, we're going to do your Toyota and bring it back to life because it's super dirty, what do you think that's going to attract? Disaster details. People who want a cheap detail. But if you say luxury car owners, we service the best of the best, who is that going to attract? Your ideal client. And when you have all these assets I'm talking about set up, the websites, the Instagram pages, the authority, when you're talking about high-end cars and they look at this stuff, it aligns and they pay the price because they know it's worth it. They don't want the average stuff. Let your competition take care of the average work. And lastly, proper branding to stand out. So when I say branding, I'm talking about the psychological branding to make your brand memorable. When you think about, let's say, McDonald's, when you think of yellow and red fry holder, you think of McDonald's. That wasn't by accident. That is strategic, memorable branding. A lot of psychological aspects go into that. But now anytime you see those colors, you think of McDonald's. You want to do that. So I always used to think, oh, neutral colors, black, white, pick one accent color. And then when you put this on vans or cars or Instagram, it's not memorable. What I realize now is when you use more bright primary colors. For instance, my stuff right now is blue, red, and like a cream white. It's not a normal white. My wrap is red and blue. It's mostly red. So when I'm driving around, people are like, what is this huge red car? It makes them look at my advertising. I wrap my vehicle not just to look cool, to get business. Your branding should be to the T. If you have a silhouette of a car and then detailing and whatever your name is under it, go in your area and see how many other detailers have the same. So if you want to be blendable with all of those detailers, keep it that way. But if you want to have a memorable brand, do it the right way. Pick brand colors that align with your name. Make your name align with your mascot or logo. Make that align with your packages. For instance, I have Fanatical Detailing. My packages are called the Fanatical Detail, the Fanatical Ceramic Package, the Fanatical Showroom Package. Everything aligns perfectly and is branded to stand out, because when they call the other people and get the platinum detail, the gold, the diamond, you blend in with your competition. We are going to make you the number one, so we're going to change that and do smart, proper branding so you can stand out. Number 2 is high ticket services. If you want to maximize profits, you have to focus on high ticket services. For example, ceramic coatings. If you have a team in place, if you have a sales guy, you can have $400 to $500 profit on each job and being able to take care of them where they're making $300, $400 together. If you can have a system like that where you get consistent leads and you have people handling the work and you have the sales guy selling the jobs and you are just running bare minimum operations, that is a real business. When you're doing everything yourself, yeah, it works, but it's not extremely scalable. So in the beginning, I highly encourage you to do everything yourself to learn the trades so then you can teach your team or your future team. But if you're at a point where you're doing everything yourself and you know what to do, but now you're kind of burning out because you have too many jobs or you don't have enough jobs and you need a hand or two, hire a marketing agency, hire a technician, hire a VA to handle the day-to-day things that are just a waste of your CEO's time. Another thing, paint corrections. These are high ticket. You can charge $500 minimum for a paint correction. And what happens when you do a paint correction? What would you advise? Just as a detailer, like what would be logical? To ceramic coat over it because you're making the paint so perfect. So that's an easy gateway to upsell a ceramic coating. Also, you have to think about it. If you're doing $100 details, $200 details, it takes you 4 of those a day to make around, it's still going to be less, the same as one coating. And honestly, in my business, we're only able to handle 2 full details a day because quality is our number 1 priority. So it takes us 2 to 4 hours per job depending on the condition. So if we're doing 2 of those and say that's $500-$600 for the day versus a ceramic coating where we sell for $12.99 to $16.99 and it takes us the same amount of time and the margins are way higher on that ceramic coating, why would we prioritize those less expensive details? If you really want to maximize your profits, you have to focus on these higher ticket details. Think about it. If you want to make $10K a month, that's 10 coatings at $1,000. But if you want to just do it through detailing alone, say it's $200 detail, it's hundreds or maybe 100. I don't know the exact math, but it's much more work. Next is deep interior, exterior clay and wax. You don't want to just sell the interiors. That's not going to be a lot of money. You don't want to just sell the exteriors. You want to maximize it into a bundle where you can charge $300-$400 to once again maximize your profits. You want to value stack every single one of your services so you can sell it for more. If someone wants a basic wash, I literally tell them we don't do that. Go to the person down the street. We don't do cheap. And they obviously get mad when I say that, but it puts them into perspective like, damn, I'm really looking for something cheap. Like if I wanted to go with them, I would want something nicer. And barely we get people like that because of our market domination. We do it right. Our ads attract the right people. But when we package and value stack and we have a sales process on the phone where we walk them through exactly what they get and then say it's $300, $400, $1,000, $1,200, it's justified. Because I'm not picking up the phone and answering the price right when they ask. Because most people, they say, hey, how much is it for an inside detail? And what most detailers do is say the price. That is the last thing you should do because there's no value between the question and the price for it to be justified. You have to understand their situation. You have to understand what exactly they're looking for, why they want it. So then when you explain why you're doing it because of what they want, it makes more sense and is justified. Number 3 is premium psychological pricing and prioritizing upsells. For example, price anchoring. I always have multiple packages per service, whether it's an inside out, whether it's exterior only, or whether it's inside only. But I anchor it properly. I always have a presidential that is way higher than the average detail that includes those extrusive services. For instance, steam cleaning, extracting, stuff that requires a lot more time and attention to detail. For instance, $4.99 for the presidential version or $2.49 for the fanatical version. No presidential. So when I tell them, oh, it's going to filter you out from those more expensive packages like our presidential, it's $4.99 and it's going to be $2.49 for the XYZ, they just went, wow, it's usually $500 and I'm getting it for half the price. That's worth it. Another scenario is if you pitch ceramic first. Even if they're not highly interested, and you say, look, it's $12.99 for the ceramic coating, and they go, whoa, too much money. And then you go, okay, Well, if you just want a normal detail, it's $249. From $12.99 to $249, they're like, oh my God, that's a steal. Rather than if you're just pitching $80 from the front, they're like, oh, that's what it is. There's no anchoring, there's no psychological behind it, and it's not going to get you far, and it's not going to sell you a lot of details. Next is to upsell every single job. Because most people are getting their car detailed because they want it perfect. But for so long, personally me, I was like, oh, they're already spending a few $100. If I tell them it's more, they're going to get mad. They're going to think this is bad business. No, they want the perfect car. You can add an additional $1,000 to $4,000 a week, depending on how many guys you have, how many jobs you do, in just upsells. Every day I make my guys fill out an inspection form that gets shot over to my sales guy so he can be like, hey, Brad just sent us the form and your headlights are completely fogged up. It's actually not included in that fanatical detail, but it's usually, $99 a headlight, so it'd be $198. But since we're already there, we'll waive $98. It'll be $100 flat. So they're like, wow, they're giving me a good deal because they're already there, and I can make my car completely perfect for $100 more. Might as well do it. People want their car perfect. They would be more mad if you didn't say something and just left them and their expectations weren't set properly. They thought you were going to take care of it. These are completely optional. For you to give the person an optional upsell, there is nothing wrong about it. You literally tell them, like, look, we're already here. We'll take care of it for half the price to make your car perfect. But look, if you don't really care that much, there's no big deal. And what's the worst that happens? They say no. That's it. You keep doing the original detail you were originally doing. 3, making your brand messaging align with your prices. This goes back to market domination. If you're targeting disaster details, Toyotas, lower end cars that are just trashed, and you say it's expensive, it doesn't align, it's not congruent. And you're gonna get rejections and you're gonna get all these things, and you're going to start thinking, oh, is it my pricing? And it realistically isn't your pricing, it's your brand messaging. If you start targeting luxury car owners, if you're standing in front of a luxury car in your ads, if your Instagram is all high-end cars or even just high-end pictures where you show you care about your service, you care about your business and the quality, and you sell based off value and quality, and not off price and giving the best deal, your brand message will align and you will attract those people willing to pay because they don't want the best deal. When someone hits me up with a $500,000 Lamborghini, they don't want the best deal. They want the best detailer. They don't want scratches. They want peace of mind. So I sell on the opposite side of my competition, nickel and diamond everyone, saying, oh, I'll beat that guy, I'll do that. Matter of fact, what I say when I get a price objection is, look, you know what the other detailer does? He actually doesn't go above and beyond and put that wax on because he wants you to come back every single few days, because the second he leaves, it's going to get dirty. We go ahead and put that clay bar to smoothen the surface and actually have that wax go on the surface and actually stick so you cannot come back for a month. And it will look good still. And when I reframe their mind in that way, they're like, wow, this is so much more valuable. It's so much more worth it than spending half and getting a half-assed job. And number 4, building a team the right way. Because when you start to get busy with these methods, you can't do everything yourself. And if you want to get to that next level, you have to build a team. Building a team for my business was the highest leverage thing I can do. Hence why I'm filming a YouTube video right this second. And I have 2 guys out in the field. One taking care of 3 cars, one taking care of a ceramic coating. The best way to do this is to have a good initial search. And you have to understand, you don't need someone with detailing experience if you know the trade. Because so many people mess up right here. They go looking for detailers, looking for experience, and they find no one. It's not that common. But if you could find someone with a hard work ethic and train them properly, you will develop a killer. Every single person in my business knew nothing about sales for my sales guys, nothing about what my virtual assistant does. They knew nothing about my business or what I wanted them to do. My technicians, they knew nothing about detailing. But I have a team of 5 to 6 right now, and every single one of them knows so much because I trained them properly and I knew they had a good work ethic. So find someone with a good work ethic and really systemize what you do every single day. So you could say, look, here's a checklist right here. Follow this to the T. Because I fired so many people thinking they were bad. But realistically, it was my training that was bad. That's why they performed bad. Once you have that initial search for that hard worker, you want to have them fill out a qualifying form. This is going to have strategic questions to filter out people. For instance, if I put a question that's like, what is your car and what's the make, year, and model? This is literally a question I have on my form. So many people put yes, they have a car, yes. They forget to put the year, make, and model. And I literally say to put the year, make, and model. So that's instantly going to say, these guys can't even use a little bit of brain power. I don't want them working in my business. Next is the Google Meet. Once they pass that qualifying form, I set up a Google Meet to see if they're presentable, how they look, how they dress. These are things that will instantly tell you something about someone. If they can't present themselves well and you think you're going to send them out to someone's house and clean their car and they look like a slob or they clearly look like a bum, I hate to put it that way, but they look horrible, you can't do that. So through the Google Meet, you can tell, wow, this guy has potential. Then from that point on, number 4, you meet up with them in person, you pay them hourly to train them, and this is where you test their coachability. Are they, able to listen to you? I've had guys I've trained and I said vacuum this way, and they start telling me, I know how to vacuum, dude. And what does that tell me? Oh, this guy's not coachable because I want him to vacuum my specific way because after 10 years of detailing, I've developed this way works best, and they're telling me they know how to vacuum. They're clearly not a good fit, and you can instantly qualify them from their coachability. If they're like, oh, that helped me so much, like if they're asking questions, like that's another thing I've taught so many people, and they're like, okay. And then I've taught someone that was like, okay, and why do you do it that way? Because they actually want to learn and understand. That person is going to be your best employee. I don't even like to call them employees because what I build is a family, a culture. We go to the gym in the morning. I take them out to eat. We all have fun. We sit down. We bond. I won't consider any of them employees. And if I did, I don't think they would even want to work with me. So that is another thing that is so important in your business. Build a culture that is so good that people look forward to working with you, for you. I hate even saying for you. I don't think my team works for me. In theory, they do, but we're a team. We work together to make the business strive. So I really hope this video helped. My steady detailers, I love you. And if you guys are new here, I still love you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment any questions. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.